Welcome back to another comic diary. Um, I have been working a lot and I had some commissions to do, so that's why there's been some days between these diaries. Like I said before, it's gonna be some time between them. It's not gonna be every day because I'm not able to work on a comic project all the time since I have work and I do commissions and other stuff. I have been trying out some ideas for the character. I am still struggling with my design or my style, art style. Which one should I choose and which one will serve the comic the best? I've been doing some redesigns of the character. I tried a more cartoonish way. I tried to mix it with some more realistic choices and some completely, just bonkers cartoon kind of way drawings. And quite frankly, I'm starting to realize that my problem isn't in which art style I use. It's that I have an issue with sticking with it, completing it, because if there's something new, I can do it just once and it will be fine. But if I do something and I have to keep doing it, my mind, my hand, my body just kind of like repels that. It just doesn't want to do it. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's kind of like I can't just keep on doing the same thing because then it will get boring. I am scared that I will get stale, that I will only just do that art style, and a part of me wants to evolve, but I'm not sure I'm good enough to evolve because when I try, I kind of screw it up, and I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, and at the same time, my body, my art, my hand, just my art is going through the motions right now. Just right now, I'm feeling like I have to do something new. I have to reinvent or rediscover myself, my art style again. And I don't know which way to go. It's either I'm gonna go to the more realistic style or I'm gonna do the cartoonish style. Because I feel at this point in my life, I have been doing kind of both and, just being medium at both kind of ways. And I feel like everyone else is like, yeah, I've chosen my path, my style, and I'm going with it full on, 100%. And I'm not doing that. I'm just, discovering techniques, styles, and stuff. Maybe I'm not ready to settle down, or maybe I just don't know where to go. Um, and that is something I have been struggling with pretty much all my life. Because when I was younger, I always thought that no, you're never gonna make a comic. You're never gonna get people to like what you do or draw. It's all for nothing. So that thought has always been. Well, it's not only me who says that, but who said that, but it's it's kind of hard to explain because not many people have been supportive of me in the past, and that has colored my way of thinking. And it's also why I try to help so many people I can with their art problems because I feel like we have to become more people here and draw. But now I see people are getting better and there's more support for it. There's actually schools now that teaches what I do and want to do. So I was kind of too old, I guess, for all that early on. So I had to learn myself. And me and my buddies who did draw, we all kind of went the webcomic way and just doing the simple things, and we found our different paths, you know, DeviantArt, or maybe doing a webcomic on their own site and stuff like that. But I never really got caught into. I had a webcomic. I had several webcomics that I did, and at one point, you know, when those hits, when those periods of time when I was like, I have to change, I have to evolve, I have to become better, I have to become a lot more better at doing what I do. So I was like, you know, I have to do something. I have to do something with my art. I have to do something. And maybe I was thinking about it too much. Maybe I was missing the big picture. Maybe I was not thinking that what I do right now people will like. Anywho, I have been these past days not just sitting around, but I haven't done anything more on the Viking supernatural kind of thing, because it's a good idea, but I'm not sure if that is what I want to do in the end. And don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna just throw the idea away, but I'm just feeling right now that I have to find out what kind of art I want to do. And maybe it's not like an adventure comic. Maybe it's not like a story-based comic. Maybe it is a web comic I'm supposed to do, because I always like to draw people from the waist up. But you know, the legs are always a hassle, and I'm not good. Well, I'm not good and good. I'm not the best person to do stuff over and over and over again. Maybe that is something I have to train on. Maybe I have to get better on it. And it's always easier when you do a webcomic, because it's more simple lines and everything like that. Because I know for a fact that I can't do the great realistic kind of choices. Even if I wanted to, I can't do it, because I don't think that's my style. My style is somewhere between cartoonish and realistic. And some things you have to test. You have to test them, you have to go through them, you have to, you try yourself out and see where in the middle am I comfortable? Which style am I comfortable with? And this is something I believe everybody is struggling with some point in their art career or their art life. You have to find yourself, what am I good at and how can I excel? But for me, I just haven't found what I'm comfortable with style-wise just yet. And I kind of envy some people, because I see they have already found their style. They are now just practicing to get better and better and better at it. But for me, I'm just, still, fiddling and doodling over here and over there, and I'm just not satisfied with myself, because I feel like I am lost in my own art styles. So I have been going through some of my old drawings, some of my old web comics and stuff. I've just been cruising down the nostalgic highway and just looking at stuff I've done in the past. Like my web comics. I really liked to do the +5 XP web comic. My Games and Boobs comic had some high points as well. I tried to start some new comics, like my Swedish Pixel comic, which I kind of like because it was just, grayscale and stuff like that. And I found some old drawings. I actually did a Viking before. I totally forgot about it, which the character was called Erik Wolfgard, or Erik Wolfgård, as it was supposed to be in Swedish. But, and I find some stuff that I'm like, how did I do that, and why did I leave that art style? Or did something happen to me, in my personal life that made me change from that art style to something different? Or was it that I just felt that I wasn't good enough? Because confidence is definitely a thing you have to have when you're doing art and comics. There's nothing wrong or there's nothing right, but there's always people, most likely people who don't do artwork at all, who says, oh, well, this is good and this is not. And you can't let those people affect you. I know. It's hard to not do that, but because everyone, even if we say like, oh, I don't listen to that person, I don't listen to that comment, or we do, we take some in, we do that subconsciously or not. We always try to evaluate ourselves or looking for evaluation in others. So yeah, it's kind of like just for me, I think I just see other people doing so great, and I'm just jealous. I'm just jealous because I haven't settled down. It's kind of like, when you see someone who has found their wife or their husband, and you see they have found that. So now they can just start building on that. But I haven't found anything like that yet. So it's, for me, I'm just still searching for what I'm comfortable with, what I like to draw, what do I want to draw, what could I possibly like to draw again and again and again. And that's the point where I'm struggling right now, because I don't know what I want to draw. I don't know if I want to draw a fantasy comic, if I want to do a sci-fi comic, if I want to do a funny comic or a fighting comic, or do I want to do a comic at all? I know. It's the comic diary. You're supposed to do a comic. Yes, I know. But you can still do a comic without, doing it the comic way. Maybe it's supposed to be like more of an artistic comic. Maybe it's supposed to be like one-shots or something like that. But yes, I want to do a comic. I want to do, sequences where there's fighting. I want to do where there's sexy stuff. I want to do where there's magical stuff, sci-fi, all that kind of stuff. But I can't do, well, I can do different comics at the same time. That's also a possibility. But right now, I just feel like I have to first figure out what it is I want to draw and how to draw it. Because that's a big thing. Because if you're not sure, the art style and the process of it is going to be so different from when I start and when I finish. So, and that's also a possibility that maybe I'm not supposed to do like a big comic. Maybe it's supposed to be something smaller. Something that's more contained, like a one-shot comic, like maybe just 10 pages, and that's it. And maybe you could, do something upon that and build on it and stuff like that. But just, for the moment, just focus on like a short story. But I don't know. My head is like not sleeping, not retiring, or like it just keeps pumping ideas and what I want to do, but my mind and body is not communicating right now because I have issues. I'm trying to test some new techniques where I'm just drawing fluently. I'm just trying to make the lines go not edgy and not square or like that. I'm just trying to make it flow a little bit. I'm just trying different stuff. I'm trying to find myself again, and for me, that's just going back to basics, shapes, forms, just trying to do something different, or something, from the past to see, okay, can I go back? Because it is hard to go back to a style that you have pretty much, either gone away from, or, you've been practicing so much that now you can't do the same style. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to explain if you're not drawing yourself. But don't worry. I am still gonna do a comic, but I just don't know what, and I don't know how it's supposed to look yet. So it's kind of like that, where I just have to figure out where I'm going with this, and And this is a part of the process. You're not gonna get something right from the get-go. And I know people are gonna be like, oh, another comic you're going to abandon. Yes, I know. I have a lot of failures, and I like, oh, this is gonna be so awesome, and this is gonna be so great, and then I just know. Because I jump in and I'm too excited, I get too worked up, and then it doesn't deliver, or I feel like, ah, shit, I can't do this because I am not good enough, or I wrote myself into a corner, or this is not good characters, and this is not the good art, and I can't draw this. Like, kind of like the last comic I tried on is the Space Pirate Girl comic. And I like to draw the characters, and I like to do all the talking and stuff like that, creating the characters. Don't get me wrong, no problem with that at all. Not even the art style was the issue there, but I was realizing that I can't draw space. I can't draw spaceships, and the environment that the characters was in. I can't draw that. Well, not yet, or maybe perhaps I can't draw it the way I want it to look. And I was like feeling, no, if I can't do this, then half of the comic is gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad, it's not gonna be good enough, and it's not gonna be what I wanted it to be. Because I wanted it to be something that reminds me of the old 70s, 80s anime like Captain Harlock and, all those sci-fi kind of stuff. And I wanted to have the kind of Serenity, Firefly feel to it. And I wanted it to be very reminiscent of European comics and have my own stamp on top of all that. But I can't draw the environments, and that's also a weak point for me because I am bad at doing the backgrounds. I can do it if I have it like in a webcomic where I can put it in the back, blur it out, and just make you understand what's in the background, but you don't pay attention to it. I can't do that with a more serious comic because then it's gonna be a part of the panels. It's gonna be a part of the comic, and I don't want to cheat on that because I have been cheating so much in until now, until more recent years. I've been cheating a lot. I've just been doing the characters because that's what I have been practicing all the time. Many people are like asking me, how can you draw so good? Well, I've been practicing on just one area most of the times. Then there are people who can draw houses, rooms, atmospheric worlds, magic, fantasy places, and all that kind of stuff. And I can just do the characters. I can't do the background. I can't do the environment. Well, I can do it to a point where I can get away with it. And if I do try to do something more realistic, I kind of fail at it because I haven't practiced enough. So can I really start a webcomic or a comic with no knowledge or no skills to do that? No, not when it's based 50-50 on environment and characters. No, then I think it's wrong for me to start that. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be one of those things where people are gonna like, oh, another comic. I'm gonna be the girl who cries wolf a couple of times. That I am aware of, and that's why I'm scared to show anything because I'm scared that is this gonna be it? Am I getting my hopes up too much, or am I just, crying wolf again? So, yeah, that's where I am right now, and it's gonna be a longer episode this time. I'm sorry, but this is a part of the problem, and this is why I wanted to do the diary, because I wanted to to see how much is gonna change from episode or journal entry to journal entry, because it's gonna be jumps from back and forth and up and down and to the right, to the left. I'm gonna go all over the place until I find what's comfortable for me, what I think you people as the readers will enjoy, and what looks good and what I can do, and get the building blocks so I can do the foundation and go forward onto that. Because if I don't have the building blocks and I don't have a stable ground to start on, I am not gonna do it. Because I know myself. I know myself this far so good that I can tell you that if it's not stable, I am not gonna go ahead. I may be doing a test page or two, but if I feel like, nah, this was not fun to do, and I don't want to do it over and over again, then I'm not gonna do it, because it has to be fun, both for me, both in the process, and for you to read. Because I have done some stuff, early on that I was like, yes, this is good, and people were like, nope, we don't find this interesting. And I was like, okay, so what do I do? Do I stick with it? Or do I, and I did the stupid thing. I chose not to continue on it because I had something that was fun then, and I just wanted to, get the attention. And that's the wrong way to go around it. I wanted to be both. I want the process and the drawing for me to be fun. But I also want it to be fun for the reader to look, oh, what's gonna happen this time? What's gonna happen this time? Or if I do a webcomic, a funny webcomic, I want it to be like, okay, at least 60 to 70% of it is okay, is good, makes people laugh, makes people want to come back and like, oh, this is so me, or that's totally correct, and stuff like that. So even if it's gonna be a webcomic, if it's gonna become that, I hope you still will watch or listen to me rambling on, because I'm still gonna do it, the diary and stuff like that. So, but right now I'm just trying to find where I want to go. And no, this is not gonna be a long time now before the next diary, but you are going to see me trying some stuff out. And if you like it or don't like it, please let me know in the comments. Show your support. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you in the next diary.